We're
Sorry
live
about that, folks.
again.
Listen,
Hello, kids.
David rugged us, and we didn't get a chance to say goodbye to you. And so,
Oh
um,
no,
wow, that was weird.
David! I can't with him. Can't believe he did that to us.
He was also
Well,
supposed to I think we were supposed to oh shit, wrong mouse. So I've got like 3 computers going up here. Uh,
Damn, Akil's
Alex,
that
Alex,
guy
if
with
you
Neo with all the screens
what?
in that room. That old man with the room, all the screens. You got
I'm
this
so
like
dead.
Yes, I do. So like, you have no idea. Like, people are complaining about like, oh, you've got the office set up. I'm like, listen, I'm trying to set up a studio at this point. Like, I'm legit setting up a studio. Just ordered some more equipment. Because I'm going to have 2 different shots. So what you see here is going to be for our morning show, and then I'm setting up the studio in one of the other rooms. And it is going to be a no cap culture kind of like Sunday chill spot where I'll invite folks over. I'll have guests on the podcast. Audio? What? Our audio's messed up? What's going on now?
audio sounds good.
Yeah, I know.
I will
I'm
check
on.
again, but audio's
I
fine.
was like, I thought maybe like, Speedwagon, audio Speedwagon.
We're from the spaces.
Anyway.
I mean, the spaces is down, but
Oh,
YouTube's good. I'll verify though.
or whatever. But yeah, so I'm spending the guap, baby. I'm spending the cash to make sure that we have a good show for the no cap culture.
I like the name. I like the name.
Yeah,
It's like
but it's gonna be
modern.
it's gonna probably be by next year. It's gonna be next year. We were supposed to come back in November, but I said I'm not doing this half-ass. I'm not doing this half-ass. I'm coming in full stop. I'm coming in with the big bucks. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make it better. Because that's what people deserve. They deserve quality out of us instead of this shit that a lot of people give you every day.
Oh, speaking of shit that you get every day, I want to share this clip of Juan Vargas. April Fools came early. You guys ready?
Oh no, I can't with this guy. I literally cannot.
Get the point of cryptocurrency to begin with, other than if you're a terrorist or someone that wants to hide money, and then I get the point. I don't get the point of cryptocurrency to begin with.
Can I say something?
Other than if you're
Can I say something about this, man?
Yeah.
The reason why
Please
I
do.
laugh at this, and it's so funny, is because it's exactly what my teachers were telling me when I was a junior in high school. And that, like, all right, so when I first created my Twitter account, I went to school like that September. And oh wow, my teacher was like, "Get out of Bitcoin! It's a Ponzi scheme." My history teacher at the time, I'm gonna give him a shout out because we're like good friends now, Mr. Goodfellow. At the time, he was like he was telling me, that exact thing. It's for criminals, blah blah blah. You just want to hide your money from the government. And then all of a sudden he turns around and he's like, yeah, you know what? You're right. Like, I want to get into Bitcoin. And then my sister, she has him now, my younger sister. What video was he playing in class the other day? A whole thing about Bitcoin and its history and its origin. So bottom line, people are going to come around. It's just that exact clip reminds me of exactly like my teachers. And they will come around. They will be like my teacher that says, hey, like, you know what? Maybe we made a mistake. But I think right now they're trying to push against it. And instead of focusing, because that's what bothered me about that hearing, instead of focusing on FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried and how this is a fraud issue, not a cryptocurrency issue, they took that opportunity to turn it around. And of course, they asked the wrong people, like Kevin O'Leary and an actor, what should we do with regulation in the space when Kevin O'Leary is a paid actor and not really an investor in the space. So I don't know. That was my mini rant about that. But it's exactly like my teacher. It's actually hilarious.
Honestly,
funny.
Seeing Ben McKenzie, I call him like rip-off Batman because he, speaks in like a slow, calm demeanor to try and cement that his arguments have logic, but logic, where art thou? There's no logic. It's just subjective. It's not objective. It doesn't criticize it. It doesn't say this is good, but it's just like scam, virus, ban it, garbage, trash. But I mean, even Andrew Tate, like a lot of people, he's controversial, but he was like, I was doing a 900K transfer to buy property, and the amount of hoops and loops he had to go through, the paperwork he was put on, and like a travel warning list through the airport because and it was a legitimate transfer. Bitcoin, no problem. Cryptocurrency
Yeah.
solves many problems, and that's just payment. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of backlash. That's tends to be the case. I loved Coinbase's piece where we saw them say the internet's a fad, computers are a fad, no one needs personal computers, the internet's going to be broken.
I'm so done.
I'm sure there was the same resistance with like credit cards or anything
Oh,
else.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but then again, you still have people like to this day that are still using checkbooks, that are still using like all these like, old technology. I've never written a check in my life. I don't own a checkbook, and I don't plan on doing that. And I think a lot of younger people too, but still there's a lot of people that are behind. There's a woman in my building. She's in her 50s. Not old at all, in her 50s. That has a flip phone.
You remember the bank books? You'd put them in the machine. Maybe you're not old enough for that. They'd have like for your like records. You'd have a little book, almost like a passport, and you'd put it in the machine. And it'd be like stamping like records on there. And you'd come out and you'd like look at your book.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I wrote a check, to be honest.
I
Yeah,
know, like
100%.
for checkbooks, because like, when I worked in a dentist office, like I remember people saying like you could write on the front, like, to keep track of who you're writing checks to, and then you wrote the check and then ripped it out and then gave it. Wow, that's pretty wild. Like,
Not to
it's just
mention the
so
check
old.
has security concerns in itself. Like you're already showing a lot of like information.
Yeah, your
You,
name,
you give
where your
if
bank
you give
is.
certain yeah, like there's concerns with that too. There's a lot of scams that it can exist or that it can occur.
The
There's a lot
checks
of
could
hoops and
bounce.
yeah, the checks could bounce. We see it where on the gray market of watches and people buy expensive watches, even a cashier's check could come back if they revoke it from a legitimate bank institution. One lady
That's
got
crazy.
scammed like tens of thousands of dollars because of that. She was going to sell a watch to him, goes to Chase. He gets the cashier's check. Everything looks good. Tries to cash it in. Can't do anything. So even
Yeah.
those conventional means, like 100%. I'm Miss Teen. What's your take on like what do you think is going to happen with this XRP lawsuit? Do you think we're going to get a conclusion like anytime soon?
Weren't we supposed to get one like last week?
Yeah, like they were
So
saying like 15th, but doesn't look like.
I feel like that's all I hear. And you know what? This reminds me of when I first got into crypto, and like especially when I first got on Twitter, April 2020. Everyone was talking about ETH 2.0. Everyone was talking about the merge, and it had to take like 2 years for it to actually happen and actually go down, which I think like it actually went down for a reason. And I don't know if it would have originally, right? But I do think it's like kind of in the same ballpark where I've been hearing for years XRP Ripple case. We're gonna hear back. We're gonna hear back. Oh, it's today, guys. It's today. Oh wait, never mind. Again, I think this is just to waste time, because why are you pushing against Ripple? Why are you saying, oh, this might be security? Yet when this is all said and done, you're gonna end up letting them win the case, then use them for banking and connecting the two worlds together. So again,
Yeah,
this is just like pushback. It's to waste time, because initially they maybe XRP, when they win, they're going to be like, oh yay, XRP, let's use this, and maybe it'll coincide with the CBDC. I don't know, but I do think like they want to bridge Web3 with the banks, which I do think there needs to be a way to do that. So of course they're going to use Ripple or maybe something like that, because I know XLM is doing a few other things as well, and they want to push a CBDC. So I know, like, they want
yeah,
some connection with the blockchain at this point. So I think we're gonna hear back. I'm just sick of like waiting. I hope it's not like another 2 years and then we hear back, because I feel like the Ripple community, it has worked so hard, especially with XRPL. There's such like I know Expector, who's powering this podcast. They definitely are working hard, and there's a huge community for XRPL. A few marketplaces that I've been on Twitter Spaces with. So for the sake of people innovating, I do hope that they do come out with a win and stop stifling innovation. And especially this reminds me of the library case, which I was so upset about when they
yeah. I was
lost.
really, I was, I didn't
And I
know
think
about
they'll come
library,
back.
but I was disheartened to see that, and we'll see. There's a lot of Bitcoin maxis that are like, well, that
It's
that
not
went through,
over.
so you know, and I'm optimistic. You know, XRP was the first project that onboarded me kind of like wholeheartedly into crypto. I was doing some mining in 2017, but I never really got serious about it after the whole Superman ICO
Yeah.
scams and Big Connect. And then I returned in like the, you know, March of 2020. I'm like, oh, fiat is kind of trash. So let me check this out. I would say that a win for XRP is going to be a win for everyone. And it's
I
almost like if
agree.
you're rooting against Ripple, you're going to be right next on the chopping block. Like, what's to say Gary Gensler's not going to go for this crypto and the next one? So I hope that this ends,
Yeah.
because it feels like a SpongeBob meme at this point. 2 years later, oh, there's going to be a conclusion. 5 years later,
Yeah,
oh,
I
there's
do
going to be a
think
conclusion. Oh, Brad Garlic House. 10,000 years later, oh,
Yeah.
589, like, you know.
we're
So
we're due for an answer. I hope
we
for the
are. It's
sake of the
overdue.
XRP community that, you know, and for stifling innovation in this country, that they just like get through this and everything like that. But I do actually have to run, and I have to
For
get
sure,
ready
yeah.
for my stream at noon.
Well,
But
I hope you have a
are
great
you guys
stream.
wrapping up, or
We're gonna
are
be
you guys
we're gonna be
staying?
wrapping up.
Yeah.
We're gonna be wrapping up
I
very
don't want to rush you
shortly.
or anything. I just don't want to like leave you hanging and leave
No,
us
you're
out for
good. You're
like
good.
No,
You're
David
of
good.
cough
We're gonna
course.
cough and
wrap
just
up,
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Miss
no, we're
Teen. We
good.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
No, I
100%. We
Thank you
appreciate
for
you
appreciate you,
getting
guys.
into
Miss
it
T, for
today.
jumping on. Guys who are still watching, make sure you subscribe to her channel. Miss Teen is always hustling, put out tons of content. We really appreciate creators in this space because it's such a small space, and we all have to kind of rise our boats, rise that tide together. So we really appreciate you coming on as our special guest. And
Thanks for
yeah,
having
we
me, man.
look forward to the future. Of course, always a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Bye, G Media friends, and feel better, Akil. Later, Alex. Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.
Take care. Thank
Bye,
you.
friends. See you in 10 minutes, 12 minutes. Ah.
Make sure you go check out Miss Teen Crypto Show. And for everybody else, David, I know David had to jump off abruptly,
Yep.
but on behalf of him, Alex, and the entire team, thank you all. Remember, tell somebody you love them, touch grass, and have a great day and an even better tomorrow.